guys, it's Deandra here. Welcome and welcome back. I told myself I don't want to do bag wish lists on my channel, mainly because my viewpoints may change. So what I feel it would be better instead would be brands that I have on my radar. These are brands that I've been seeing, I've been intrigued by certain things about them, and I think may be on my radar for this year. I don't know if I'm gonna buy anything, but I'm just sharing with you what I'm intrigued with. Now, first thing first is Mark Cross. Mark Cross, if you may not know, is a American fashion designer. They've had a little bit of change in hands. They were out of business for a time. They were more popular in certain areas, but nonetheless, you can find them in places like Neiman Marcus and so forth. What I loved about them at first was their Grace box or trunks. Now, this is quite similar to Brandon Blackwood's trunks. The thing is, with what I've noticed with their trunks opens all the way out. Okay, now that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Depending on how your stuff sit inside, they may fall all the way out, is not being secured. But you do have access to all of your things. And that's was one thing that I didn't like with the Brandon Blackwood trunks. I do have two, and I coincidentally, because of that reason, the difficulty of going in and out, I hardly use them. But that is not the bag that intrigues me the most. The bag that intrigues me the most is the Frame crossbody bag. Unfortunately, this year on their website, you no longer see any of the ostrich fur counterparts because those were absolutely gorgeous. I hope they bring them out for the new year because I personally wanted the white on white. But even without the fur, I still love the bag. And honestly, I would get it with the white with the silver hardware. I guess I'm just really liking white. But in other colors, it is still a pretty beautiful bag. You can wear a top handle, you can wear a crossbody. I think it's a very elegant bag. It's definitely something that you're going out in for like an evening. They do have other things on there. They do have other shapes, like the Madeline is shaped almost like the Kelly bag. I feel like almost every brand has a shape that is pretty close to the Kelly. Not because of they're trying to be like Hermes. It's just that I feel like that trapezoidal shape is just such a classic shape. You cannot get away from it. But as I said, they have other bags in their collection. So definitely a brand that is on my radar. Secondly would be Tamara Melon. Now, I do have my phone here if you see me looking down, just to let you guys know. Now, unfortunately, at the current moment, their website is under service as being, I guess they're doing renovations and all that stuff to it. So I'm just going to give you a little spiel of what they are. First thing first, the CEO, the founder, is Tamara Melon, and she was a co-founder of the Jimmy Choo line, and then she decided to break off into her own thing. I feel like this is a good brand for people who are looking to take care of their feet, meaning like giving what their feet needs. They're not giving into the notion that beauty is pain. They want to have the comfort and the beauty too. I feel like this is the brand for you, mainly because you are getting designs, you are getting creativity here, but you are getting memory foam and padding at the same time. You can have your heels, you can have your wedges, you can have your boots. You are getting some cushion, so you're not feeling the blunt of the heel. You may also have a little platform if you want to or not. It really doesn't matter, but you're getting a bit of a cushion on there, so you're not feeling the blunt of the arch, you're not feeling the blunt of the ground, none of that. So granted, I have not bought anything yet, but just because of those things all together, I was intrigued. Next is lude. I hope I'm saying that correctly because this is a Brazilian brand. I first came across them off of Nordstrom, but you could also find them on Bloomingdale's as well. Now, with this being a Brazilian brand, I was quickly intrigued, mainly because I could not even tell that they were Brazilian, to be honest. I guess they went with classic designs for Nordstrom, and I really liked their classic look. They have these suede ankle booties, black with gold, that are calling my name, especially because I do need a new suede black booty. Perhaps this is the year that I'll buy it. I do not know. It's a respectable heel, so it's not super high at all. So it's something that I can wear both to work or not. So it's something that will be great. But yes, Larude, definitely on my radar. Pomelado. Pomelado is a jewelry brand that I've come to find, honestly, in my early stages of even looking at luxury counterparts. I've come across Pomelato and I've always been intrigued, even on the pre-loved websites. However, they are super expensive for me. They do gold, any kind of gold, but usually it's yellow or rose gold with some sort of gemstone, and it's usually quartz. And I love their style. However, this brand I think is a good brand to look into if you want something different from the usual Cartier, Tiffany. You're still gonna get some diamonds in there. It's not gonna be heavily. They have some that may be a little bit more on that end, but I personally like the combination with their quartz and gemstones along with their gold. Another brand I say I do like their gemstones alongside, which is more affordable for me, by Pariah. I love them. I think their designs are really timeless and classic, depend on how you put them together, and they have a bit of modality. However, in comparison to Pomelato, I feel like to some extent by Pariah does the same thing but at a more affordable price. Now you're doing 14 karat gold here, and it seems like did you use some recycled materials in there, but it's not fake, it's not lab grown, it's not any imitation of anything. It's the real thing, but it's recycled. If that bothers you, then so be it. But I don't mind recycled materials at all, and I do think it's giving me a look for less, and I'm here for it. So I'm okay with by Pariah, especially because that price point at Pomelato, even on the pre-love market, is super expensive. And I hope that their craftsmanship, lives up to it. Overland is a brand that was introduced to me by a co-worker. This is a coat brand, okay? They do shearling, they do fur and leather, all of that combination, and I'm here for it. The only reason why I have not bought anything yet is because of where I live. I can only possibly do like the full leather counterparts with a little bit of fur, but I'm not gonna lie, I want to go to the whole bougie end with everything all decked out. I do. But where I live, unfortunately, I do think that global warming has a little bit of effect to this, because the winters in New York has not been the same. It used to get super cold. It's not getting that cold anymore. And some of the coats that I already have are not being utilized that much because they're not necessarily needed all together anymore. And it would not make sense for me to get a coat like this if it's not needed. So I'm just looking from afar, but nonetheless, the reviews look wonderful. Their products look wonderful, and if you don't mind sheepskin fur, they don't do anything else. I think they may do fox fur when it's like at the trim of things, but in terms of the body of the coat is usually always shearling and sheepskin. So just bear that in mind. I definitely would get something in a heartbeat. But yes, Overland. Okay, next are the last two brands, and I've come across both of them on Net-a-Porter. I really like Net-a-Porter and Matches Fashion because I feel like you find a bit more brands that you don't really see all the time here in the US. Granted, those two companies are more European based. However, I feel like they also do have some good deals at times as well. You just have to stalk the site. So the two brands that I'm coming to you about are Gianvito Rossi and Sabiet. I hope I'm saying those correctly. However, both of them, Sabiet, I have had on my radar for a while. I have not pulled the plug on anything because I just was not sure how well it was going to work in my closet. But there is this particular bag that I really love from them. And I love from them in different colors, particularly with silver hardware. Not really all the time the gold hardware. And that is their Tondo small shoulder bag. I feel like even though it's a bit on the slimmer side, I feel like what you can pack a punch in there. I feel like it's something that will kind of mold and expand for you. And the Tondo, I like it in the suede. I like it in the regular smooth leather. I don't care. I just love that shape of bag with the hardware on there. It's definitely quite luxury-esque if you're in that up that alley, it's definitely there for you. Now again, Vito Rossi is another bag brand that I came across recently, and I feel like it's the great mixture of both Brandon Blackwood and the Mark Cross Grace box bag. Why I say that is because from what I've seen from the pictures, in terms of the opening, it seems like it gives you a lot more space than the Brandon Blackwood, but it doesn't go all the way down, meaning that your contents is not going to spill all the way out, but you're still going to have a lot of access to get into your bag. And I think that is what I need. So although I did mention the Grace box bag, if I'm going to get another trunk bag, I think Gian Vito Rossi would be next for sure, and I think that white and gold combination is stellar. I've been liking a lot of white bags as of late, and I don't know what's going on with me. But yes, these are what's on my radar. I have not seen any of these items in person, so this is literally from what I've seen online and what I've come across. And from what I've seen, I'm intrigued and I want to look into these brands a little bit more. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. What is on your radar for this year, or do you think you may be interested in looking further into, and so forth like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and as usual, I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.